She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you the story of the newly retired Julian Edelman. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Julian Francis Edelman was born on May 22nd, 1986. To Angela and Frank Edelman, he had two siblings in Jason and Nicole, and he was raised in a Christian household with some ancestry being practiced there: English, Scottish, Greece, and German. But in that time, he was mostly Christian. It was being practiced in his household. But then you get his football and baseball career in high school, as he played both at Woodside High. He was a quarterback at Woodside High, by the way, not a receiver. And in his senior year, led his team to a 13-0 record in 2004. During his high school career, he had 2,237 yards and 29 touchdowns. Edelman then spent 1 year at the College of San Mateo. Then he threw 1,312 yards and 14 touchdowns while at San Mateo. But then he got transferred. He decided to transfer to Kent State University, where he became the starting quarterback for 3 years, his last 3 years. And honestly, didn't do that good. But then the NFL draft came in 2009, where every team decided, no, you're not a good quarterback, so we're not going to pick you. But the Patriots, who honestly had him practice separately, they went out and I believe and worked him out, and they said, we're going to draft you as a wide receiver, which they did in the 7th round, 232nd overall. And honestly, he did well as wide receiver for the New England Patriots, not in his early years, but after 2013. In 2009, in his first year in the NFL, he had 37 receptions, 359 yards, and a touchdown. Then he goes in 2010 and does worse. 7 receptions for 86 yards. Next year, even worse. 4 receptions for 34 yards. Then you get an improvement, a bit of an improvement, as he honestly has caught at least more, or at least in the middle, like 50% of his passes. Then you get in 2012, where he had 21 receptions, 235 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, we all know in 2011, the Patriots went to the Super Bowl, so yeah, and lost to the Giants. So Edelman was part of that team, along with Gronk, along with Aaron Hernandez, and Tom Brady. But he didn't do that well that season. And in 2013, that's when he blew up, as he had 105 receptions, 1,056 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And honestly, that was one of the best years for Julian Edelman in the National Football League, as the next year, he went to Super Bowl 49 with the New England Patriots, having 92 receptions, 972 yards, and 4 touchdowns that year, and defeating the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 49, mostly because of Malcolm Butler. Honestly, Malcolm Butler, if he had not done that interception, honestly, the New England Patriots would have most likely lost, because it would either have been an incomplete pass or a passing touchdown by Seattle. And yeah, Seattle did the mistake of not running the football that year. But that doesn't matter, as they did end up winning the game. Then you get 2015, where he had 61 catches, 692 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And honestly, that was the year of celebrating 50 years of the Super Bowl, I believe. And yeah, that was Super Bowl 50. And then the next year, he had another 1,000-yard season in 98 receptions, 1,106 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not only that, but he also got to play in another Super Bowl, this time Super Bowl 51, the greatest comeback in NFL history. The Patriots down 28-3 in the half, and then come back, tie the game up, take it into overtime for the first time ever. The Super Bowl was played in overtime, and then James White runs it in for a touchdown to win the game for the New England Patriots, giving them their 5th Lombardi Trophy. And honestly, that year, Julian Edelman was not the best, but at least he was one of the best slot receivers in the NFL at the time. Then 2017 happened, where he prematurely tore his ACL and missed the entire 2017 season. Honestly, they didn't go to the Super Bowl that year, so he didn't really miss much. In 2018, though, they went back to the Super Bowl, having 74 catches, 850 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a Super Bowl MVP. Yes, he was named Super Bowl MVP for the most boring Super Bowl in history of mankind, because honestly, that game was just horrific because of how awful it was. Like, no one scored. Like, it ended up 3-0, like, so long until the Patriots ended up scoring a few more at the end. But the entire game was mostly boring. Either ways, Julian Edelman ended up becoming Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 53. Then the next year, in Tom Brady's final year, he had 100 receptions and his last 1,000-yard season in 1,117 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now this year was honestly a very good year for Julian Edelman, having the most yards and almost the most receptions. He had the second most receptions in his entire career, and honestly 3 years were tied for the most touchdowns he scored that year. He only 2 other times where he actually scored 6 touchdowns, the most being 7 in 2015. But then came 2020, the year of Cam Newton, where he only had 21 receptions, 315 yards, no touchdowns. Now, this was mostly due to injury, and there has been a lot of games, a lot of, honestly, seasons missed, or better yet, a season missed because of injury for Julian Edelman. But to be honest, I'm not going to blame Julian Edelman for that, because injuries happen to anyone. And honestly, I can't blame him for getting injured when it's something that you can't avoid playing football. And he honestly still played very well in, honestly, the middle of his career and almost at the end of his career, as he had 3 1,000-yard seasons, ending his career with 620 receptions, 940 targets, 6,822 yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 7 times did he fumble the football. For those many years, the 12 seasons he's played, I think that has been the best of his career that he could manage. And honestly, how many receivers do you see after 12 seasons only fumble the ball 7 times? Like, yeah, there aren't that many, but still, that is a feat that honestly, a slot receiver that honestly had gone from playing quarterback in college to the NFL playing wide receiver. Honestly, Julian Edelman is not a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry for Julian Edelman. He's no Hall of Famer. But there is an opportunity for him to, in his post-career in the NFL, he does something incredible, because a lot of players, when they leave the NFL, they do incredible stuff, such as, I believe, Ricardo Laquette of the Seattle Seahawks. He actually had a spinal injury that ended his career, and then worked to research injuries to spinal injuries. And honestly, that is some good thing. Maybe Julian Edelman will get into something like that, or maybe he'll do something for the good of not only the country of the United States, since that's where he lives, or even worldwide. He could do something worldwide as well. But we'll never know until he does it. Hopefully, he has a very good life outside of football, and I honestly wish him nothing but success outside of football, as he did inside his football career. So that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about Edelman retiring, and what do you think he will do in his retirement? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.